Hello, good morning, everyone. Just before I start this video, I know I haven't been very active recently. This is due to school getting in the way, and as I've been feeling pretty under the weather, I'm getting sick, so yeah, bear with me. Today's video is a review of a 1/87th scale Ratcliffe Thunderbolt Siren and the design preservation models. A design preservation models building. I forgot the exact model. But yeah, it does look exactly like this on the box, so if you do know the name of this building, please comment down below, or I'll just do some research. Alright, let's begin. I'll go through the basic parts of the Siren, then I'll go over the building, and then I'll tell you guys what I thought of it and the history it's been through, because this one actually has some decent history. So yeah, let's begin. Alright, so for the first part of the review, we're going to start up with the Siren head. Included in the kit is a horn, which is this, a chopper and rotor tube assembly, and the rotator assembly as well. It also includes a steel mesh screen, but instead I ditched the steel mesh screen. Well, actually, this exact kit didn't come with one because who knows what, which I couldn't have asked for more perfect timing because I intended on making it a jail bar 1952 variant. Bumblebolt, obviously. The reason it's called Bumblebolt is because of the striped paint job resembling a bumblebee or a wasp, so that's why they call it a Bumblebolt. This paint was produced from 1952 up to 1953 for a very short time, and after it just was too big of a hassle to paint, so they just painted a regular civil defense yellow after sometime in 1953. Excuse me. In the horn is a set of steel bars that look that are arranged in a tic-tac-toe sort of pattern, 2 down and 2 across. This jail bar modification was put onto the Thunderbolt from 1952 to 1954 because Federal Enterprises, now Federal Signal, today, they believe that the horn could potentially collapse under its own weight and compromise the sound output, but after 1954, it was realized that those jail bars weren't necessary, and from there on, jail bars were discontinued. They're called jail bars because they resemble the windows of a prison cell, since they did have those bars that would not allow a prisoner to escape or break out, so that's why they're called jail bars. Now off to the rotator assembly. Here we have a Federal Enterprises logo. This logo, in fact, is actually backwards. I didn't paint it, or yeah, no, I believe it's backwards. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll have to go look on one of my other models because I do have it done correctly on one of them. So yeah, I just want to point that out. Yeah, not much to see over here. Let's move a bit lower onto the lower part of the Siren head. Here we have right here, you can see that there's all this burnt plastic connected up to this little platform thing. That's actually the mounting flange where you can attach little ropes like this. These are actually burnt pieces of stretched plastic that were burned. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And I just super glued them to the mounting flange here. You should put the mounting flange in all variants, even if it's polar roof mounted, because it just makes it easier to attach the rotator assembly to this part. Yeah, I forgot to mention, the Siren rotates a full 360 degrees in all directions, so I just want to point that out. As you can see here, this is another piece of burnt plastic. It's actually the conduit going up to the Siren head, so the Siren head can operate correctly. Here we are at the blower and base assembly here. This is the air compressor. This is also based off the 1952 Bumblebolt paint. There's the Federal Enterprises logo here, and as well as on the other side. It is a ventless variant since it is a SN-A1 blower, so vents weren't included on Thunderbolt Sirens until 1970, I believe it was. So yeah, if it's ventless, it's likely a 5M or a 6M or even an SN, but if it's an SN, it has to be a gel bar variant, and even then, it's pretty low chances that it's an SN variant, so yeah, it's complicated. I'm not going to go through that. Here we have hold on, sorry about that. Here we have the end of the wires. I just glued them to the building with super glue. It is very delicate, So I do recommend taking your time on this. This took me multiple tries to try and perfect, so yeah, it didn't go very good. Here we have some conduit. It's going from this part of the building up to this junction box, then it gets to the blower, and another one goes straight up to the siren head, so they both operate correctly. Now down to the control boxes. Here's just this one giant control box with a Civil Defense logo. This control box was, I have no idea. It contains the AR timer and the RCM assembly, both inside one box. There's one wire leading up to this junction box, which connects, goes through the building and connects to the other junction box. Well, it connects through here, and then it goes up to the junction box over there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As for the building itself, it is a design preservation models DPM type building. I think it's like something paper printer or some garbage like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's a pretty nice kit. There are a few things that you will need to hand paint. As you can see, I did hand paint the windowsills and all that, and that was kind of a tough process, but otherwise it was pretty fun. For the roof, what's it called? It is not foam core, but it's cardstock roof, and there's also some supports here. As you can see, there's some cardstock support, and that's actually pretty useful. And if you do end up with spares, you can make like controls or other mounting accessories for your siren if you intend on mounting it on a building of this type. Yeah, it's a pretty fun build. It does cost $20, which is a bit heavy on the wallet, and it's also you have to build it nearly from scratch. Just the walls come apart, the roof, you have to cut it into individual pieces for it to actually fit onto the building, and that can take a while, and if you're not careful, your roof can get really messed up. If you do end up messing the roof up, I do recommend that you use note cards for this. It doesn't really matter the size unless the roof is enormously big, but yeah, I have used note card on another one of my buildings, and it worked out just fine, so yeah. Alright, so for the base coat, the dark brown here and the Civil Defense yellow on the siren itself, I used Vallejo Gamer. For this, I used, I think it's dark flesh tone, I'm not 100% sure. And for the siren, I used a mix of light flesh tone and moon yellow, so yeah, I think it's moon yellow. I'm gonna get some new yellow, orangish yellow colors soon. For the black on the roofs and on the siren, I also use Vallejo Gamer, just a standard black color, I forget the name. Or I have it here, just black, like this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do I recommend this kit? Well, the building kit, 100% yes. If you are a experienced scale modeler, yes, I do recommend getting the building. But if it's your first building, good luck. This was actually my first building, and it's okay. It's not the best, not the worst. For the siren, I do recommend it for an intermediate scale modeler as well, as it is somewhat tough, and yeah, you can really mess it up the first time. I almost messed it up my first time trying to build it, so yeah. Alright, so that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Any questions, bombard me in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Link to buy the siren is in the description of the building. You can get it at your local hobby store. Depends on what kind of hobby store it is, though. So, yeah. Peace out.